So subscribe and ding the bell to let YouTube know you want to see more.
Fact is often stranger than fiction, and when we're talking about a time period as far back as ancient Egypt, fact feels more like fiction. We've seen unwrapped mummies in movies more than museums. The pyramids and ancient pharaohs seem more like a fantasy setting, but they were very real. While we've talked about religious writings like the Book of the Dead and the tales of the Egyptian gods and wisdom literature, it's the genre of nonfiction that tells us the most about these very different times. Hello writers, readers, historians, and all things in between, I'm A.U. Thor.
And my name's Jasmine Moore.
And when you think of journals and diaries in a historical sense, you might think of something like the Diary of Anne Frank, a harrowing account kept by a Jewish girl during World War II. But people have been giving words and descriptions to their lives for thousands of years, forming these creative capsules that allow us to look into their world just like any best-selling novel. Except instead of seeing a fantasy desert or a fictional oasis, these accounts were very real, and the oldest journal ever discovered comes from the sandy shores of the Red Sea from an unlikely author. The Diary of Murr is the oldest text written on papyrus and dates to around 2500 BC. That's around 4,500 years old. Inspector Murr was a previously unknown official who led a crew of 200 men in building the Great Pyramid, the tomb of the pharaoh Khufu, the first and largest of the three massive pyramids of Giza outside modern Cairo. It's written in ancient hieroglyphs, so some translations come across rough or simplistic, but to hear the story from those who built the pyramids is an amazing find for anyone interested. Section A of the Diary of Murr begins in July of the year it was written. By day 3 of the journal, they cast off from the royal palace, sailing upriver towards Tura, and spend the night there. He tells of the transportation of limestone from quarries along the Nile River, from Tura North and Tura South to Giza, in the 27th year of the reign of Pharaoh Khufu.
And this service ain't cheap.
Nope. A project of this size could only be carried out with the help of royal Egypt. Murr also mentions the name Akhet Khufu, which is the actual name of the first pyramid of Giza. It translates to the horizon of Khufu. They make several trips back and forth, transporting a staggering amount of stone block for the ancient Egyptian tombs. In between progress reports and sailing trips, Inspector Murr mentions spending time with the nobles in the entrance to the pool of Khufu, called Roshi Khufu, which has been suggested to be the headquarters for the building project, situated on the artificial lake near the mortuary temple. Inspector Murr isn't the only character in this story, though. In the second month, experts identify the name Idjeru, who in some translations is the overseer of a boat of 6 men. They were in charge of bringing food back from Heliopolis. Similarly, the director of 10 men, Hesi, is another pyramid laborer mentioned, but Idjeru and Hesi are minor characters compared to Ankhof, prince, vizier, and half-brother of Pharaoh Khufu. If Murr was the boss of Idjeru and Hesi, then the prince was even higher up the corporate ladder. Egyptologist Pierre Tallet believed him to be the boss in charge of the pyramid construction towards the end of their building. That would mean he was involved in the building of the Great Sphinx and the pyramids too. Sections A and B of the Diary of Murr detail the construction of the pyramids from July to November. Sections C and D tell of work done on the Valley Temple and other areas. Unfortunately, papyrus logbooks E and F have suffered deterioration over time, and other related fragments G through L, yeah, there's at least 12 sections of the Diary of Murr, have yet to be deciphered or published. Thousands of people around the world keep journals, diaries, and most never expect them to hold any value. However, the efforts to describe the mundane, to put artistic words to emotions and tasks we endure, create a time capsule. Everyone knows Cleopatra and the great Egyptian rulers, but thanks to Inspector Murr's diary, smaller figures like Idjeru and Hesi are immortalized in history as well. I've always been fascinated by creative nonfiction, because any day any one of us wakes up could be a historic day. For better or worse. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep on writing.
Catch you later, baby.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening into today's broadcast. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that bell to never miss another one of our fancy newfangled moving pictures. Tune in next week to catch another thrilling installment with A.U. Thor.